That background is like it's so great, especially with the bumping of the car.
I just looked at it and I was like, wait, it still looks like I'm in the jungle right now, but I'm driving.
You look like the size of an ant in blades of grass. It's so good, and the driving is like it's so good.
It's just barely vibrating.
Oh, I love it, man.
It was so on. I thought it would like reset at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I will sometimes do different videos with a background, for fun. And then all of a sudden I'm on this really serious call and people are like, what the hell? I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, gotta have fun, man.
The best part about it is I don't think you can hear it, but I had a Pink Floyd playing in the background and it was still playing on there.
Oh, is that right? Nice.
Oh, that's so funny. How you been?
I've been great, and I just got back home yesterday, so I've been working from the cabin for months, and we just shut it down yesterday evening. So now I'm back at it. Hey, good. Good morning,
hey guys.
Good morning, Nini.
How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Good to see you, man. So you getting caffeinated, waking up?
Oh yeah.
Atta boy.
So you're back home. Where's home in Canada?
I'm in Winnipeg, which I typically have a map behind me, but I've moved my office, so we're in the middle of this kind of a move. But
on the east side, is that right?
Midwest, so literally right above. Basically, go Minneapolis, head north.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I've only been on the western side of Canada.
Whereabouts, like in Vancouver and in Alberta, like BC, or like?
Yeah, Alberta. So I drove from Dallas all the way to Alaska.
Oh man, yeah, what a beautiful man! I'm jealous.
Yeah, it was amazing. We drove through Alberta, went into Banff, and then
gorgeous
stayed
there
for about a day or two, and did some hiking and Lake Louise and all that stuff.
Yeah. Did you make it up to Jasper?
We drove through Jasper, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I have yet to get to there, but I've been to Lake Louise several times and Banff several times and Canmore. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, Canmore was cool.
Yeah.
And we kept going north. We went through Northwest Territories and what's that called? The Yukon.
Yeah. I hear it's quite rugged. I mean, the only reason that there's a road in the Yukon is because people want to get to Alaska.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those. It's just like a 2-lane highway, right? One going each way. And the first thing that they tell you when you stop at a gas station there is make sure every time that you see a gas station you stop and fill up because you don't know when the next one is.
Yeah. It's not like you're on an interstate highway in yeah. I gotcha.
And it could be days if you get stuck on the side of the road. It could be days until you see anybody else drive by. So
right.
You need to make sure to have like food on you all the time. Always stop and get gas. Make sure your car's good, because if not, I mean, you could be stuck on the side of the road for a few days before somebody else drives by.
Pedro, what was the weather like when you were driving? Were you doing that in the summertime?
So it was mid to late August. So, I mean, at night it would get what we consider chilly, right?
Right.
So, like high 40s, low 50s. But during the day it was like 65.
Yeah, I love that kind of sweater weather, where you be outside and it's just the air is crisp.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's great. Good for you.
It was perfect. Yeah,
How long were you there for?
So the trip lasted about 10 days, and then the first time that I was there during late August, I was there for about I think it was like 10 days, and then I went back during spring break here, which is I guess March, April time, and I was there for like another 10 days. So, but that time it was freezing out, right? And there was blizzards out and the biggest icicles I've ever seen in my life. And then we drove up north to a little place called Talkeetna and went to go see the northern lights and stuff. So that was
Good for you.
Space
Hey,
Force.
Jason.
All right, Space Force.
Space Force is in the house.
I love it.
Hey, Amanda's gonna be late. She had to turn around and go get a mask. There's a lot of background noise for some reason.
Pedro
Sorry,
is driving right now.
We're like 2 minutes away.
Okay, got it.
I can put here. I'll mute it so you guys don't hear all that.
Yeah, it's
There we go.
Amanda dropped the girls off at school, and then the school called and said you forgot your mask. So it's been
Oh no.
she can't find her ID and she didn't have a mask. I don't even know if it's really her anymore.
Yeah. Things have changed here as far as in the last couple of weeks. Now, anywhere that you go in a public place, at least here in Manitoba, it's got to be, which is my province, it's mandatory mask. Anywhere in public, it's mandatory.
Outside?
So, no, funny that you asked that question. I know that it's for indoor public places. The moment that you walk in a door, you better have a mask on. I don't believe it would be outside. It's kind of, I mean, there's still a lot of people. I've been away from the city for almost a couple months. Like now I'm back home. We shut the cabin down last night and we got home really, really late. But Granger has fallen off. Hopefully he pops back in or he's walking in the door to the store. But anyways, yeah.
I told him he could join remotely this time. I mean, he's been driving in, then just driving back. So
Yeah.
I figured we can do that. But Amanda apologizes. She'll maybe she can join on her phone. But
Yeah, for sure. So why don't we just jump in terms of where we left off. We finished off doing the sales objection system last call. Here we go. I've got a Galaxy J7 Star coming in. I don't know if that's Amanda or if that's Granger.
Galaxy Granger.
Galaxy Granger.
Galaxy Granger.
Here we go. Let's make sure we get everybody on the call so I don't have to start over. It's all good.
Yeah, thank you.
I have Galaxy Granger. Don't have audio or video, which if you're driving, that's fair. How's the last? I'll ask you this, Jason. How's the last? We spoke last on Thursday.
Yes.
How did the weekend go for you guys? Busy?
It wasn't. It's so weird. It's like beautiful weather. I mean, I think I wasn't here this weekend, so they were here, but it's weird. It's kind of slowed down a little for us. Oddly enough, it's just you would think that people would just be running in here because of the weather is just beautiful outside.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just too nice to, they want to not do anything. I don't know.
Have you received your elements yet?
Yes, we have a handful, and then we have 30 on their way. And so, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm just. What's your impression? I've yet to ride one, so I can't give you an honest impression. I can only give you feedback from what I've heard from other people. I'm curious. What do you think about the element?
I mean, it's a talking point.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna negate the conversation about people wanting to look for a lower cost bike, and I think it's an opportunity.
Yes.
It's an opportunity for us to show them premium and best, better, good.
Yes.
And then say, okay, well here if we absolutely have to, if somebody comes in looking for an element, we're going to put them on a platinum interceptor or something like that, and then here's some trade-offs, right? Here's some and then we'll also have a good, better, best element, right? So we're going to soup out an element or soup up an element. I think you saw my post on there. We're going to be putting the Connect suspension handlebars, and then also put a Connect seat post on it. So we'll have a nicer element.
Right.
At the end of the day, I think I'm not a fan of 35% margins.
No, who would be?
And I honestly, I had a long conversation with Don about this, a long email. right when it happened. I have to forward it to you. It was pretty good, you know. And I told him, I said, I think it's honestly we're devaluing our brand by putting out, you know, a subpar bike.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, we're having to compete against, you know, some of these online retailers. So
right. So, you know, it's an interesting conversation I just recently had with a couple of other people, and I think I think we're in a position right now that even though it's not part of the curriculum that I have for you guys, I think that this particular product, this particular price point, this lack of margin needs to be discussed. And again, this is not a slam on Pedego at all. I want to be very clear. I think that what's happened is Don, for years, Don has been asked. Yeah, go ahead.
You can kill that. All right. What's up, buddy? Let's have a seat. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good in yourself.
I'm very well, thanks. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Thanks.
here, you have cash?
Also myself.
Let me see if there's cash right here.
We used it for the. Oh,
What is that?
nice.
What is
a rental?
Oh, it's a rental. Here, take that cash.
We're just gonna sell.
Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
Pedro, are you still going to be on your own device, or are you walking?
No, he's here. He's here.
Okay.
He's just running out to the. Oh wow, he's paused. That's weird.
Yeah, he's frozen there.
Let's keep him there.
Okay.
And he'll be. Well, you know, I don't know if we
There
get.
he goes.
Hey, so Jay, can you not hear us? You might want to have him disconnect and come back in.
Yeah, he has several times.
He says he can't hear audio, or he.
If he's using his phone, he's gonna. Yeah, I mean, because he's on, but there's no video, and he doesn't even have a microphone.
That's weird.
Yeah. You guys want to chat and like send him a message in the chat room? And
No, he's talking to him over text.
Okay.
How's it going? How's local table?
It was great, thank you.
Yeah?
It was really nice.
We have a new restaurant that just opened up right half a block away. So
Okay.
really nice restaurant where we're gonna
Great pizza.
try to partner up with.
Hey, so when is Houston Heights going to be officially? We'll call it the soft opening. What's your timeline?
They're releasing it. They're working backwards from November 4th on the date that construction will be. We're targeting construction to be finished, and we can start. You know, we can open. So I'll have my tax sales certificate. I was working on all that yesterday, and ready to do business on November 4th. So we'll make a big bike order. You know. We'll have that. We've got a lot of bikes in here, so we might take some of these bikes and move them over.
Okay.
We're gonna fit all these bikes that are coming. Anyway, and I just bought a trailer too to haul bikes back and forth between the two locations, and then my next target is I'm gonna start creeping out to the Woodlands and seeing if what our next location is gonna be.
Okay. Wow. Right on. So the conversation that I'd like to just share with you, and I'm just interested in your feedback, it is in regards to the element. And again, I think that Don has been under a lot of pressure. I think Pedego in general has been under a lot of pressure from the dealer base for years, saying, hey man, we need to have a lower price bike. We need a lower price bike. Something's got to give when you want to come in at a certain price point, and what you end up giving up is margin.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to compete against the likes, and let's just talk about the white elephant in the room, which is Rad Power, because they're doing a lot of volume. We can't kid ourselves. They're selling a lot of bikes. So now what we got to do is look at what do you bring to the table, and what do they bring to the table, and we have to be careful. It's not spec versus spec, because that's somebody's going to eventually win that game, and they're going to beat it on price.
Yep.
Right? So the goal is, how can I build a bike that can be attractive to get people in the door? But then how do you convince people about the premium product that you have to offer? So
yeah, I think the other thing that we're focusing on is that, you know, as I posted a bunch of social media, what is all this shit?
Important documentation.
morning.
So as I posted a bunch of social media this weekend, I led with, is service important to you? Is local service and support important to you? That was the headline of posting the 1495 element. That's all I said. You know.
So one of the questions that I recently ran into, and I think it's important that we need to address it, because I think you're going to run into it. I mean, another couple of dealers had brought this up. I've got Lisa joining the call.
Might be a girlfriend. I don't know.
Probably green.
Okay,
Hey, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Lisa. Welcome to the show.
I don't know who Lisa is, but
It's my alternate ID.
nice.
It's all good. Thanks for jumping in. Sorry that you're having issues, buddy.
No, that's all good. So what's going on?
Oh, just hanging out.
Cool.
We're good. We're just getting started talking a little stuff about the element and kind of positioning. We're about to hear Mr. Marcoux's position on how we position it. So
Okay.
I'd say one thing though. Somebody came in the weekend or Friday to look at the element, and I put them on a Ridge Rider, and they were not interested in the element anymore.
That's precisely.
So it's a really good thing for people to come in and try the element.
100%. I mean, the purpose of the element obviously is that you're going to be getting a new piece of the pie. There's going to be people that you've never been able to sell to before that you're going to be able to get onto a Pedego, which is fantastic. However, and to your credit, Tammy, is you're doing exactly what I would highly recommend, which is, hey, you know what? Just for fun, come with me. I want you to try this out. And I just want your feedback on it, especially when you start asking questions and you hear somebody say, well, I'm looking for a mountain bike. Well, the element's really not, the element is what it is. It's not, you can ride it on a trail, but it's not a mountain bike. And we have to be very clear in terms of what it is and what it's not. One of the questions, though, that was recently brought up, and again, I think it's a great value proposition. I think it's awesome that you're going to have something that's going to attract people to come into your place of business. Do some comparison shopping, and remember, people don't buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. So the comparison isn't going to be brakes versus brakes, gears versus gears, frame versus frame, price versus price. It comes down to, how am I being treated? If somebody's walking in the door, it's now your opportunity to build that connection with them and bridge the gap, where online, they're not going to be able to get that from RAD. They're not going to be able to have a community. They're not going to be able to have a relationship. And that's where, again, just for fun, hop on, try this. I want you to compare it. And then, Jason, you're hitting the nail on the head. How important is local service to you? Because all of these products that we have, every one of them requires maintenance and eventually will require service. And if you don't do regular maintenance, you're going to need service way sooner. And service costs more than regular maintenance. Maintenance is just, making sure that it's going to be running okay, and that when you do regular maintenance, you don't have to have that hefty expense of the service when something truly breaks. The question that I was posed just yesterday was this, and I'm going to ask you guys, and again, we bantered on this one for a while. And it was just around the SOS as well, which is the sales objection system, which is what we practiced on our last call, right? Acknowledge, ask a question. When somebody says, so why can I buy every other bike that you have has a 5-year warranty? How come this one only has 1? We need to be prepared for that question. And I'm curious, I already have an answer. Doesn't mean it's your answer. It's just Joe Marcoux's answer. But I'm curious, how would you answer that? Because it's going to come up. Do you think it's a legitimate question from a customer that they're going to ask that question?
Yeah, so Tammy just found out there was only a 1-year warranty, so we're gonna work through that.
That's why we
Yeah.
need to keep the price down in order to be competitive in this fat tire bike space. That's what we need.
So, and put yourself in the,
It costs money in the long term for us because we do maintenance and we give that personal service. Now, because the bike doesn't bring in so much money, there's not much for us to give back, I guess.
you have to be careful what you're telling a customer though.
It's cheap.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Telling isn't selling. Telling isn't selling. So we need to be very careful in terms of what our approach is on the element, because put yourself in the position of a consumer, Tammy. And this is why I'm having this conversation with you. If you were the consumer and you're curious and you're saying, okay, well, how come this only has a 1-year warranty when all of the rest of your bikes have 5 years? And the answer that you hear is, well, we don't make as much money on this bike, or the components aren't as good. How does that make you feel?
I'm not going to buy it. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
So we need to be specific and have a strategy. Sorry, Jason, go ahead, man.
I think maybe one of the approaches is that we just point out the differences. We point out, so here's some, suspension. Here's some upgrades. Here's some things, and put them on a best bike and say, hey, this is the experience that you have here. We just have a range of quality bikes.
Right.
I think that's kind of where I would go with it.
So I'm going to throw out to you an approach. And again, it comes back to just for fun, because we want to get, we know that the element's job is to get people to call you and get people to come into your locations so that they can, obviously, I mean, if we're going to sell them an element, that's kind of like in my world, it's the last resort product, because it's 35% margin. It's only got a 1-year warranty, right? So there's a few things that we have to keep in mind on this one, and in fact, I even wrote this one down yesterday, so I'm making sure. So again, the warranty is the issue in this case. In this particular case, like again, the objection is. So, Ranger, were you saying something, buddy?
No. I was telling the dog to lay down.
I honestly thought you were telling me to lay down. I was about to just fall right off the screen.
That's later.
All right. So the objection that we need to be prepared for, and that's the beauty of being prepared in advance and having, what's just no different than when somebody says, hey man, what kind of deal can you give me? You already know. I appreciate that you're looking for a good deal. What exactly did you have in mind? We're ready for this. We need to do the same thing with if somebody says, well, how come this only has 1-year warranty and this has 5 years? And again, I wrote it down, so I need to practice it. So, hey, you know what? I appreciate that you see the value in our 5-year warranty and the rest of our lineup. What's more important to you, a 5-year warranty or a lower price?
That's why we can't get a 5-year warranty.
Right? Because at the end of the day, I'm offering them the choice. Like, what's more important? And I'm telling them, without telling them, what's more important, a 5-year warranty or a lower price? The subtext is you have a choice, where we've created this bike to hit a price point, and that's it. But I'm not telling them. Like, I heard a dealer just a few days ago say, well, the reason that we made, they asked, well, why is the Element only got a 5-year warranty, and how does it compare to other products in the same price point? And the dealer actually said, well, those products, the comparative products, I mean, their components are crap in comparison.
Hey, I'm just gonna repeat that, Joe. So Pedro just came in.
Yeah.
The objection handling for talking about how you discuss the lower cost element. Okay. So it's like, why is this bike why does it only have a 1-year warranty? Or is that the question?
Why do the other ones have 5 years?
Yeah. The question is, and again, it could be, why does it only have a 1-year warranty? I mean, it's ultimately, why do the rest of your bikes have a 5-year warranty and this one only have a 1-year warranty? if they've done any type of research before coming into your location, you could bet dollars to donuts that that's gonna be something that they want. And I'm going to shoot some ideas over to you guys, and you guys have a decision to make. So, first one is.
So finish that. That objection was like. What's more important? Well, I appreciate you looking.
I appreciate the fact that you see the value in our 5-year warranty and the rest of our lineup, right? So I appreciate the fact that you see the value in the rest of our 5-year warranty and the rest of our lineup. What's more important to you, a 5-year warranty or a lower price?
What if they keep on asking, what's the difference?
It's 4 years.
You know what? The answer is exactly that. The answer is 4 years. So now here's the question, guys. So that's how you answer, in my opinion, that's how I would approach the handling of that objection. I want to find out, ultimately, I'm putting it back in the hands of the consumer. What's important to you? Like, what do you want out of this? Do you want to have a 5-year warranty, or do you want to have a low price? Because I can't, ultimately, with that question, I'm essentially saying I can't give you both. So what's more important to you? 5-year warranty or a low price? Now, something that you could consider, and ultimately it's, Amanda and Jason, you guys can talk about this with the rest of the team here right now. And that is, do you want to offer an extended warranty, whether it's through a third-party service provider, because there are underwriters out there, and that comes at a cost, or you can do what we did in my fitness store, where we actually had a third-party service provider, and eventually we took it on ourselves. And what we did was we took 50% of the proceeds and we put it into escrow over the warranty period time, and then once it was done, that became profit dollars. It can be exceptionally profitable. However, the challenge within all of this, and this is something that I want you to think about, and this is just open for discussion. The point of the element, in my opinion, was that it was providing you, the dealer, an opportunity to attract people based on a certain price point. Who is the element designed for? It's not for your existing customer who you're talking to me about, retired RV, 55-year-olds, affluent. You guys have the most millionaires, population of millionaires in the United States. I mean, I don't believe that's the element was designed for. Or do you feel differently?
No, it's not. It's designed for. It's designed for one of their kids.
Okay.
I only have a dog.
Or one of their dogs.
First, second, bike,
So
a ranch.
So again, I mean, the approach that Tammy's already taken, which was when somebody comes in, they're curious about the element, always go back to your template and go, hey, no sweat. I really appreciate that you're here. Is this your first time in the store? Click, click. How did you hear about us? Get specifics. Have you ever ridden a Pedego before? Oh, just for fun. We're going to get you to try a few. I'm curious. So who's the bike for? Who else is going to use it? How are you going to use it? Where are you going to ride it? How long is your typical ride going to be? Are you planning on riding alone or in a group? Because we want to promote the things that separate us from all other shops, specifically in the e-bike world. And then finally, are there any physical issues that I need to know about, such as ankles, knees, hips, spine, heart, or lung? Based on what you told me, it could very well be that the element is not the appropriate product, but we have to come in with high energy because highest energy wins. On top of that, then it's if they are insistent on the price, you can go with the element, and keeping in mind though that I believe it's that best, better, good. You're at that entry level price point. You still have to pull out your list of accessories, and based on what they've told you, you want to set them up. If a 5-year warranty is something that they want, and this is something you can discuss, you can say, hey, listen, if I could get you an additional 4-year warranty to bump it up to 5 years for an additional $500, is that something that you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Because you can offer a 5-year warranty, either as in-house, or you can get a third party, you can get an underwriter. And you're making 50% margin on warranty. So let me ask everybody here, who's been to Best Buy and they ask you to buy the warranty with everything that they sell?
Yep.
Best Buy's in the warranty business. They're not in the electronics business. They make a ton of margin on warranty because the margins on a lot of their electronics are exceptionally thin. So now the question becomes, do you want to offer a warranty extension on the element? Now, I'm just asking that out loud. It's up to you to decide. You don't have to decide right now, but what do you think of that idea, Jason?
Yeah, I think that's something we'll probably look into because I don't know that I'd want to do it in-house.
But
I think that's risky.
No, it's not. If it's parts warranty, from a battery perspective, we'd have to figure that part out. How much is, we don't even know how much the battery is alone.
Here we do.
How much is it?
It was listed on the site.
4815 is like 1200, and if it's a 4810, it's like
No, for the
Element.
element.
Oh.
Element is we have a 40% margin on the batteries. They're coming in, I think I have to look. They posted it though. It's on the fact
So
sheet.
that's like worst case scenario. It's a battery, right?
Keeping in mind that your battery is covered for that first year. So, and again, I'm just spitballing with you guys because I think it's important, and I think the rest of the team needs to chime in because it's important, right? This is a product that is going to get people's attention based on price. And remember, when, time, money, and fear, it's kind of like when you're going down the list of what causes, somebody to give you an objection, it's time, money, fear, and then self-doubt is at that's where the real core of the matter is. That's why when they say, oh yeah, like time, money, fear, time, money, spouse, fear, self-doubt, those are basically your core issues of objection, right? When somebody says, oh, I need to speak to my significant other about it. No, they don't. Most people don't. They already know if they want to buy it or not. They're just throwing their significant other under the bus because it's a stalling tactic. Objections are what they are. So when it comes to the element, the question becomes, what's our strategy as Pedego Houston? What's the strategy with that bike? Is it, okay, we're running with it and we're going to sell a ton of it? There's nothing wrong with that. You need to make up that blended margin on the rest of your invoice because a 35% margin bike is not going to help you, especially when you've got negotiators who are going to ask you this damn question here, which is what kind of deal can you give me? You better have accessories on your invoice because you're not going to make it with somebody who's grinding you on a 35% margin bike. There's just no way. But you'll make up
warranty, yeah, and then we're gonna have to write it up, actually. Write up something that.
I'll work.
Here's my suggestion, guys, and again, take my information like spare ribs. So the deal would be that if you could start off with a third-party underwriter if you want to test out the extended warranty. And again, you don't have to promote the warranty. You're still making 50% margin, right? So so to bump it up to 4 years, and this is these are the words that I would use in my demonstration for the rest of the product line. Like, for example, why does this particular product not have a 5-year warranty? Well, you know what? Here's the thing, and I appreciate the fact that you appreciate that you love the value in the 5-year warranty that we offer the rest of our product lineup. The rest of our product lineup actually qualifies for the 5-year warranty from Pedego. This one does not, and that's the difference. So what's more important for you, a 5-year warranty or a low price? So what you can do is while you're talking about the rest of the products, you can promote the fact, the 5-year warranty is a selling feature, yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay. So seeing that the 5-year warranty is an actual selling feature, while you're talking about a Platinum, a regular Interceptor, a Ridge Rider, you can tell people, you know what's great about this Ridge Rider is it actually qualifies for the Pedego 5-year warranty. So you're promoting, subconsciously, they keep hearing 5-year warranty, 5-year warranty, and you're hammering that puppy home. Because when they go, if they actually don't buy, and they go do some research, which we know is absolute BS, they're just going to see if they can find it cheaper somewhere else. But if they actually go research and they actually do go look at another brand, they're not going to find a 5-year warranty somewhere else. Like, is there any other brand that's offering a 5-year warranty in your community?
this idea is this is our bike that is basically in the competitor's price range, offers the same warranty, but what they're getting from us that they're not getting from them is local service.
Right. Right. So again, you come back to you asking the question gets them to think about it. So I appreciate you see the value in our 5-year warranty that we offer in the rest of the product lineup. All the rest of the product lineup qualifies for our 5-year warranty. This one does not. What's more important to you, a 5-year warranty? Or you can say, what's more important to you, a 5-year warranty or a low price? And how important is local service to you? You could double the question up.
Yeah.
The whole point of this diatribe over the last half hour, though, is I wanted to make sure that we were prepared for this. So just for giggles, Tammy.
At that point, if you have to, you can say, we know our competitors in this price range offer a 1-year warranty, but they don't actually offer local service.
Who offers a somebody offers a 2-year warranty. We need to figure that out, make sure that we're not incorrect.
So it's not
And do we know?
RAD, because RAD offers a 1-year. I just rode with some folks. They bought a 1-year warranty. There's no one here to service them locally, so if they need a service call, they have to pay for a third party. I don't know how much extra that is, but to come to them,
Really?
Or they ship it back to Washington.
they can't.
No, they have local service.
Oh, they do?
Does that help you guys? I mean, in concern, do you think that you're going to hear about why does this only have 1 year versus 5?
I'm pretty sure they told me, or they could take it to San Antonio, which San Antonio is 3 hours from here.
Mm-hmm.
Is your biggest competitor Rad, guys? Is Rad Power your biggest competitor, do you think?
No, I wouldn't say so, but against the elements.
Sure. Who do you feel is your biggest competitor? Is it other Pedego dealers? Is there another brand, or is it online?
It's I hear people talking to me about Specialized.
Okay.
It's other Pedego dealers, and it's cheapos online.
Wait, what was the third option?
The cheapos online.
Oh, the cheapos.
They call me and they ask me what's our lowest price bike, and they cannot believe that I just told them that.
Yeah, and they're like, we were looking at $500.
$500. I'm like.
That brings up a great point. So first of all, we'll come back to the giving good phone, because that is critical, because the goal of a phone call is to be able to get somebody in the store. Yeah, and yeah, Nick, it's giving good phone. Yeah, you got anybody who gives good phone.
I want you to do that giving good phone, because I do try. Some folks will listen to me, and other folks will just say, okay, no, thank you, but goodbye, and sort of hang up on me.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I mean, one of the things that, if ever you're doing a trade show, and I've done trade shows for years. If ever you're doing a trade show, if you start with your price, they're gone. They're gone. You need to be able to build value before you get to the price. It's like any infomercial on television. They don't give you the price until you've watched all the way to either the midpoint and they do a call to action, or they go to the end. So when somebody calls you, what are they saying to you? What do your bikes start at, right? I mean, that's what they're, because everybody sounds like that when they call you. What do your bikes start at? And if you say, well, they start at $14.95, yeah, click. I mean, it's the how much question at a trade show. The goal needs to be, how can I do a demonstration in front of 50 people?
What are we comparing?
As opposed to doing 50 demos one at a time. That's got to be, the goal needs to be, how do I create excitement? Well, if somebody in the middle of, and I'll give you guys an example. I was doing a trade show and I was demonstrating a product. It was a fitness product. And halfway through my demo, I must have had at least 30 people there in front of me, and they're like all watching and they're all digging it. And then all of a sudden this guy's in the aisle and he's walking past me. How much? And I said, $12.95. Everybody scattered. I was not even halfway through my demo, and it was like, shit. Everybody left. I mean, I might have had one couple left. I felt deflated. And so, lesson learned. If somebody says how much, the answer has to be, well, you know what? It depends. And it does depend on the phone. It depends. You know, what do your bikes start at? You know what? I really appreciate that you're looking for the price on our bikes. And the answer is, it depends.
It does depend.
It does. It depends on what kind of bike you're looking for. Are you getting a new bike, or are you getting a pre-loved bike? And ultimately, have you ever then stop, go to your template and go, is this your first time calling the store? Mark down. You guys have to mark down every time the phone rings. How many phone calls did you get today? How many people walked in the door? Measure the damn metrics, right? Is this your first time? Yeah, what do your bikes start at? You know what? I really appreciate you asking that question. And the answer is, it depends, sir. Let me ask you, is this your first time calling the store? How did you hear about us? How specifically? I mean, if you're not asking how they heard about you, that's money wasted. And then, have you ever ridden in Pedego? You've not? Oh my God. Okay, we need to set up an appointment. What's a good day for you? How about Wednesday or Thursday? What's good? And I'm leaving no off the table. What's a better day for you? Because we need to, as I pull out my calendar, we need to get the calendar out and book the damn appointment. Because if we don't, what do your bikes start at? You mentioned the price, they're gone. Just because somebody has in their mind that they're going to spend $500 on a bike does not necessarily mean that we can't change their mind based on A, the experience that they have with you guys, and B, the experience that they have on a Pedego. Does that not make sense? So the critical component about giving good phone is making sure that we get them in the door. Because if they're just going to go online and they're just going to comparison shop of spec versus spec, which is what versus what, they'll never know about your why. People don't buy what you sell. They buy why you sell it. They buy you guys. That make sense? All right. So let's come back to, if somebody asks you guys, hey, why does the Element have a 1-year warranty and the rest of your product line has 5? Why is that? Pedro, give me the answer. I gave it to you guys already.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the fact you value our 5-year warranty. Dang it.
What's more important to you?
What's more important to you, price or the warranty?
Yeah, what's more important to you, a 5-year warranty or a low price?
Got it.
Also local support and service.
Yeah, and then you can once they answer that, you can say, so how important is local service to you?
Got it.
I told you guys the story about the store in Florida where the couple came in and she said, I can get a Rad Power for half that price. And I asked her, right? How important is local service to you? Her husband pulled out the card and he said, let's just do it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to tell them like most dealers do. Well, you know, if you buy it online, you're not going to get local service. You know, okay, that's not helping. By getting them to think about it, by saying, hey, so how important is local service to you? Oh shit, yeah, I guess, yeah. Okay, awesome. So Nick, why does this bike only have a 1-year warranty when the rest of your Pedegos have a 5-year?
I appreciate the fact that you value our 5-year warranty. What's more important to you? 5-year warranty or lower price?
Nicely done. Awesome. Tammy, you know what? Why does this bike only have a 1-year warranty when the rest of these have 5?
I value the fact that I appreciate the fact that you value a 5-year warranty. What's more important to you? Warranty, 5-year warranty or low price?
Nicely done. Excellent, guys. Excellent. Appreciate the fact that we've done this. Good job. Yeah, high five. Woo! All right. But now that at least you've got a sense in terms of what the words are going to be, and you'll be prepared. You'll know it, right? That's the whole idea behind practicing and being prepared. So just for giggles, I want to do a quick review of what we did on Thursday. I'll start with you, Tammy. What kind of deal can you give me? Not on an Element. It'll be on a Ridge Rider.
Oh, okay, good, because otherwise I couldn't help you. No, I'm joking. I appreciate that you're looking for a good deal. What kind of deal were you thinking of?
was wondering if you could throw in, you know, a couple of those helmets, those Sena helmets.
Sena helmets or elements?
No, I'm looking at
Oh, elements and Sena helmets. Okay.
yeah,
So are you saying if I throw in one Sena helmet, you're going to buy right now?
I like that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. You're the proud owner of a Pedego and a Sena helmet.
Excellent.
And all this other stuff.
And
That's so that there's a couple of options at that point. You could say congratulations, we'll do it. Let's go over the rest of the list in terms of the things that you're going to need with this bike, because it's very important that at that point we take on the authority space. You're a trusted advisor, Tammy. Everybody on this call, you're all trusted advisors. So yes, okay. Can you throw in the Sena helmet? Your answer was correct. Hey, I appreciate that you're looking for a great deal. What exactly do you have in mind? Can you throw in the Sena helmet? So what you're saying is if I throw in that Sena helmet, you're going to buy it right now. Yes.
you asked for a couple of Sena helmets. I said one.
I know. I got you. And I appreciate what you said. So thank you.
I'll give away two.
That's why I smiled and I said, great. And that's the other alternative is you can say, you know what? I totally appreciate that you're looking for a good deal. What is it on this list that we can take off that we can help you save some money? Right? So you have the alternative. You can offer the deal using the accessories as your hook, or you can say, well, you know what? This is what people typically purchase with that Ridge Rider, but you know, we can remove some of these items to help you save you some shekels. You can always get those later. So what is it that you want us to take off? Of course, a lot of our typical customers like, well, I don't want to remove anything. I want something for free, or I want a discount. But by offering this alternative first, what's great is sometimes these folks just feel like you're negotiating with them and you're holding your margin. And you can do that with the element as well, especially with those accessories.
Trying to help them.
Exactly.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So does everybody feel comfortable with handling objections in terms of what we've done since on last week's call? We hammered those for a couple of hours. We're good?
Yeah, I know that most of us are good. I just want it to become sort of repetitive, like every morning, like you said, we say these things to each other just as we're like moving bikes out or whatever.
Like yesterday.
Make it a game.
Role playing with Granger, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it going, keep it going.
Getting practicing.
Because the more we do it, and we'll probably laugh about it and, you know, whatever, but
Absolutely.
That's sick. Even on the weekend, we used it a lot.
Yeah.
And Nick would Saturday and
Yeah.
Friday, every time somebody walked in, we used something that we learned new, that we got used to saying, which I wasn't comfortable in saying before.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. Good for you. I ended up getting a phone call yesterday from a staff member from another store. I'm not going to get into the details out of respect for them. The staff member is a seasoned salesperson and loves the idea of practice and role play, and was saying to me that the ownership of the location that he's in doesn't want to do role play. And I can tell you right now, if you don't practice, you won't be as good as you could be. You might have good sales right now due to COVID and everything else. That's going to change. If you think that this deluge of instant selling and everything else like that, because people are just coming in to buy, is going to last forever in this industry, like, give your head a shake. It ain't going to happen that way. Those of us that practice and stay sharp because there's going to be way more competition coming. It's obvious. The bike industry has boomed for the last 9 months. If you don't think there's going to be new bikes coming to the forefront and way more competition because they see an opportunity to make a shit ton of money, that's where those of us who are skilled and ready are going to be able to like continue on with the momentum. And that's why role play. So this particular person was like, they're not role playing. And you know, now I'm going to have to get on a phone call with these folks, because ultimately, as Amanda was just saying, practicing, and you guys are open to it, which is great. You guys are only going to get better, and you're going to provide people a better experience for it. Role play, role play, role play. And then we're going to do some role play. If not today, we might have to do an extra call, because I want to make sure we go through all the curriculum. It's more important to me to get through everything as opposed to, okay, we only have 4 calls. That's not how it works. I want to make sure we get it right. And so the role play from the beginning of greeting a customer all the way to getting them on the bike, all the way to closing the sale, all the way to what do you do after the bike has been written up and the customer's left the building. There is a process, and the more that you know the broad strokes from beginning to end, that's going to allow you guys to scale so much faster. And you're gonna make more sales, make more money, and get more referrals. It's all win-win. Happy customers. So, did I talk to you guys at all about the popcorn method?
Yeah, well, no, I know about it.
The what?
No.
All right.
No.
Perfect. So the popcorn method, and it's a little bit about the same idea of what I mentioned earlier, where I was at I've worked trade shows for a long time, and one of the challenges is that why would I want to do one demonstration when I can do 50 times, when I can do one demo to 50 people? And people have asked, hey Joe, what's your record in terms of number of bike sales in a short period of time? My record's 27 electric bikes in 4 hours. That's nothing. I've had stores that done 35, 36, and one store in particular did 41. And they did exactly what I'm telling you to do here. So the first step, as I'm coming back to sharing my screen with you guys, the first step is we want to be able to follow there we go. We want to follow this template. Just follow it and go through step by step, right? Hey, hello, fun. Acknowledge, give them a few moments, and then first time in the store, how'd you hear about us? Take a note of those details. You ever ridden a Pedego? Get them on the bike. Make sure that you put them into the lead cycle system on the test ride waiver so you have automated follow-up, Google reviews. Put the phone away, and then ask the following 6 questions. We do best, better, good. Here's the thing. Now that you have this systemized approach, the goal is, how do I get multiple people wanting to buy? So let's assume in this example, Tammy, you're the first person to walk in the door. And as I'm greeting you and I'm just getting you on to a little bit of a test ride, I notice that Nick walks in, right? And I'm alone. It's like, okay, no sweat. I would simply and then I notice a car is rolling up and there's now Pedro showing up. Okay. So I would say, okay, Tammy, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take off for at least 15 minutes. Just get out of here. Go have a nice long ride. I don't want you back for 15 minutes. Get out of here. Have some fun. You take off. Nick and I start our conversation, and it's like, based on and again, I can rip through my list of questions. I can get through this super fast. I don't have to digress and go, so how are you going to use it? I'm using it for work. I don't have to jump into, hey, so where do you work? How long have you been working there? What do you do there? I mean, if you have the time, of course you want to build that relationship. But right now, I've got Pedro who's just about to walk in. And what's my goal? My goal is butts on bikes, and let them go. So then, Nick, you know what? Tammy's gone for 15. Nick, here's the deal, man. I want you to take off for 10 minutes. Come back in 10 minutes, but not before then. Pedro comes in. Same thing. Bang, 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 bang. Same list of questions. Hop on this bike. You know what? Just for fun, Pedro. Take off, go around the block, come back in 5. Now I've got all the people showing back up at the same time. All I need is one to pop. I just need one. And I'm telling you, this is how it works. It's magic. I'm not saying that I've sat there in 4 hours and sold 27 people at once. They usually went in groups of 5 to 7, right? Because sometimes they're couples and whatnot. And if I just got one group, so let's say in this example, right? Everybody comes back and I go, so, and let's say, Tammy, you're first. And I go, so Tammy, what'd you think? And you say, oh, this was so much fun. Awesome. We got this. Awesome. You want to take it? And you say yes. Nick and Pedro are there at the same time. I go, Tammy, congratulations. Welcome to the Pedego family. I want to go over a list of things with you. Just give me a quick sec. Hey, guys, I just want you to know that Tammy has just purchased this bike. I just need to go get her quick something. Tammy, I'll be right back. And I leave. When somebody buys a Pedego bike, Tammy, when do they want that bike? They want it right now, right? How excited are they that they've made the right decision? Right. What do you think happens when the salesperson leaves and the other two prospects are now looking at, because you just announced it to them?
Bragging about the new bike. They're selling it, please.
Exactly. So what ends up happening is Tammy, who's now transitioned from prospect to customer, that customer becomes the salesperson, and I'm out of the way, right? And so now Pedro and Nick are like, so you're buying one? You're going to buy one? Really? And what ends up happening is the brand new customer who's so excited, and what have we done? We've said, congratulations, welcome to I've just told you you've made the right decision by congratulating you. They're so excited, and when they want the bike, I want the bike freaking now. It's like, oh yeah, I've been shopping around, blah, 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 blah. And then when you walk back in with the list that you're going to go over with Tammy anyways, you look over at Nick and Pedro and go, so what do you think, guys? You guys want to do it too? And you know what? Invariably, it happens. It's awesome. It's awesome. Because now they go, it's like having live social proof testimonial. The key behind Army of One, which is what we're doing, is taking all of this theory, putting it in such a way where you can compress, you can time collapse, which is why you have this template in the first place. You can take it and do a demo. That's not a problem if that's what you want to do. I can tell you that you can do this in 20 minutes, and I've done it. And I've showed other people how to do it. And I mean, Jason, Amanda, and Pedro, have you been able to sell bikes in a short period of time because of it? Pardon me?
Say it again.
Well, I asked, have you been able, due to, I'm hearing some I'm going to try to, I'm going to mute a couple of people here and just try this. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. You're on the right.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm hearing a weird background noise with you guys. But anyways, so my question to you guys was, have you found with the template that it helps you save a ton of time in terms of your sales time?
I did not hear you. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Have you found that with the sales template, you've been able to save a lot of time?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, yes.
Is there a fan or something running there?
We're turning it off.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. It's coming through the audio, and I think it's interrupting my audio back to you.
It takes a minute.
You guys sound like you're coming in. You're literally in a wind tunnel. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'll just keep going. So the whole idea behind the popcorn effect is you want to be able to remove yourself after you congratulate. Once we congratulate, we allow the person to be excited, and that excited person is going to sell to the other people that are still prospects. So you transition somebody from prospect to customer. That customer, you just go, congratulations, I'll go up. Hey, everybody, just want you to know that these folks are buying, that Tammy's buying a bike. So just give me an extra couple of minutes. Tammy, I'll be right back. You leave. And then what ends up happening is they'll end up talking. And then when you come back, the whole thing is you need to close. And how many times, I mentioned this to you before, how many times are you typically going to hear no before you get to a yes? How many times? Exactly, thank you, 5. I'll just take every opportunity. Every time somebody goes for a test ride, especially if they're gone alone, ask when they come back. So what do you think? Do you want to take it? You're with a group of people. Congratulations, Tammy. Well done. Guys, I'll be right back. Or everybody, I'll be right back. I mean, we did this actually at the dealer meeting, right? Jason and Amanda, you saw this. The moment that one person decided to buy, you guys were one of them, a whole slew of other people at the dealer meeting said, I want to buy too, right? it just creates that energy. Take advantage of what you know, which is your systemized approach of asking questions, getting people out on a test ride, but time it. Timing is everything. Tammy, 15 minutes. Nick, 10 minutes. Pedro, 5 minutes. Everybody comes back. One person pops. I'm telling you, boom, you've got a bowl of popcorn. It's a beautiful thing. It's awesome. Call it the domino effect, call it the popcorn effect. No matter, it works. And it's just being cognizant of, I've got more people coming in. I've got stores that prior to doing this, they would complain that they had too much traffic. Like, are you kidding me? This is an opportunity for crying out loud. All you got to do is manage the traffic. You're getting people to leave. I mean, shit, if I could do it with people on treadmills, I would just go, okay, I'm going to leave you to it for 10 minutes. I'm going to go help these people. And then I'll leave you to it for 5 minutes and and they're stuck in the store, right? These products are perfect. Here's $5. Here's a $5 Starbucks gift card. I want you to go have a coffee. Come back in 25 minutes. I mean, literally, boom, boom, boom. And in the context of the 27 bikes, just so you know, it was a sale event. The store in this store in particular they were advertising an event where it was a parking lot sale event. And they had people on their Facebook page that, they had several qualified buyers coming in on this one Sunday. And it was like shooting fish in a barrel. It was awesome. All I was doing was just walking people up with bikes. Here, they're taking these two, they're taking these two. And I was doing exactly that, timing it, getting people to come back. One person would pop, they all popped. It was very rare that somebody would go, no, I'm still going to think about it. I appreciate that you want to take time to think about it. What is it specifically you want to think about that you and I didn't get a chance to talk about today? You're at the sale, right? It's like, there's no better time than, yes, thank you, Tammy. No better time than now. Get them to fill in the blank. I mean, let's go. Does that make sense? Popcorning. Excellent. Right on. Okay. Time vampires. Have we talked about the have we talked about the time vampire? I can't hear a word you're saying.
We haven't talked about it. I mentioned it, but we didn't go into it. I know what it is, but they don't.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, guys, but the sound coming from you guys is absolutely distorted. Like it's I don't know what's going on. It's bizarre.
Well, it's probably because I'm way back there. I mean, is it?
Now I hear you loud and clear.
They're not talking. That's the problem.
Oh, we're mumbling.
There we go. Okay. Have you ever encountered the person who comes into the store and says, I'm not going to ride, but they hang out for an hour? They don't have time to ride?
Yes.
What is your approach to dealing with that person? Do you just spend all that time with them?
Call me if you've got any questions.
That's fair. That's fair. I want to give you a couple of approaches that I've seen, and again, it's just information. Take it as you will. Keep the meat, throw away the bone. In the sense of a time vampire, I mean, ultimately, how many people have bought a Pedego from you overall out of 100, let's say, out of 100 Pedegos sold, how many people have actually bought one without trying it?
I would say 10 out of 100.
What was the number? I'm sorry. Speak out, Pedro. Sorry, buddy.
Like 10?
10 out of all or out of 100?
Out of 100.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm surprised that the number's that high.
So
So-
go ahead. The reason is the people who buy the Elevate have typically done a lot of research already, and they know for sure they want the Elevate. And
Okay.
that's one. Number two is for gifts.
That's fair. Okay. That's fair. This is why you ask that critical question after the mini spin. It's who's the bike for and who else is going to use it. If you don't ask that question, you could be dealing with somebody, talking to a guy who's 6'6", and then finding out later, oh my God, it's for your wife. How tall is she? Yeah, she's 5'5". I'm showing, it's like, oh my God, I'm showing you the wrong bike. There's a reason why you want to have this in step by step. Who's it for? Who else is going to use it? Boom. Focus on whoever it's for, right? Dealing with a time vampire is that person who's coming in and they're going to be asking you so many damn questions and they're not hopping on the bike. And then you have somebody else walk in the door. This is the part that gets to me. Number one, a lot of salespeople somebody walks in and they don't even acknowledge the person, right? We've talked about this before. You got to play your A game, A for acknowledge. So somebody walks in, right? Give them the old finger. This one, not this one, right? Hey, be with you in a quick sec. And you're right. I'll be with you in a quick moment. Just being polite. You're still dealing with the person that you're with. If the person that you're with is insistent that they will not ride, again, this is where you have to, listen to your senses and listen to the conversation. If they're not riding, they're a time vampire, and your sense is they're not buying today, let them know, right? And what the approach that I would have is, you know what? I'll use Nick as the example. So, you know what, Nick? My sense is you're not going to be buying today. Totally okay. Those folks, however, they might be buying today. So, and our goal is always to get people on bikes. Seeing that you're not willing to try the bike, why don't we set up a time that's appropriate that I can answer more of your questions? Because the best way to answer the questions, quite honestly, is just getting on the bike and riding it. And I want to get these folks out on the ride. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can come with me and we can get their reaction on getting on for a ride, and we can all have a conversation together. Or what's a good time for you to come back in when we're a little slower and I can give you a little bit more attention? What's good for you, Wednesday or Thursday? Because the last thing, if they're not serious, and there's a couple things that happen in this scenario. When somebody says, again, my sense is you're not buying a bike today, and that's okay. I've got other people that I want to help to get on bikes to try them. I've experienced where I get somebody go, oh, no, I'm buying today. Okay, great. Which one are you getting? Like let's just cut to the chase. All right. If you get the person who's a time vampire, and again, there's going to be times where A, it's okay to fire a customer. It's rare, but A, that's okay. And B, pull out the calendar. If they're serious, they'll book an appointment with you, but they have to respect the fact that I think in terms of probability of sale, it's highly improbable that somebody will buy if they don't test ride. We know that the process is butts on bikes. So if I've got people that are in the store and I'm ignoring them because I'm dealing with a damn time vampire and they're just asking question after question, or they want to talk about their freaking dog or things that are relevant to the bike, right? Have you guys experienced that before?
Oh,
Yeah. And by the way, it doesn't mean that somebody else is in the store. If you've got a time vampire and you've got shit to do, and everybody's got stuff to do, like we all have stuff to do, even when the store's empty, we've got tasks that need to get done. And if you know that this person's a time vampire, there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I've got another 5 minutes before I've got another task that I absolutely have to take care of. So if you don't feel that we're going to be done in terms of this conversation to help you make a buying decision today, and that's totally okay, can we set up a time that we could give them the opportunity to come back and book an appointment? If they're serious, they'll book it. If they're not serious, they'll walk, and you're saving yourself a ton of time.
Okay, what about this? What about a buyer who's a time vampire?
That's fair. That's fair. You know what? And this is where, again, we have to be extremely polite, because you guys have obviously, you want to build a community, right? You want to build a community of people that keep coming back to your store, and obviously they're going to pick up new accessories. They're going to be able to drive referrals and everything else. There is literally nothing wrong with saying, hey, Bob, great to see you. Listen, I've got 15 minutes for you because I do have to get back onto these other tasks. I got to keep this machine running. Frame it. If you don't give a person the boundary at the beginning, it's game over. You're going to be stuck there for hours, The day goes by and you're going to be shit, man. Jason and Amanda are going to kill me because I never got this stuff done.
Also, in this case, I was actually selling that particular bike at that point. And then there are other people in the store, but they keep talking and talking and talking and talking to me. So that's
This was a existing customer, like a buyer, somebody who bought already?
buying right then.
Yeah.
But we're done. Like we're done.
And now,
But now we're talking about everything else in the world, and I need to be helping these people over there.
I don't, you tell me, Amanda, don't you think it's okay for you to say, hey, you know what, congratulations, and I really appreciate you and your business. I want to go help these folks so that they can have a great Pedego experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to learn how to be a little bit more direct in every single one of these scenarios.
Yeah.
We're not time managing properly. And I'm guilty of it too. Because, you start to get to where you become like you're friends with these people, right?
Yeah.
You don't even know those other people. They could be your friends too.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with getting the person who just bought, again, there's, in this context, asking the person who just bought the bike to say, hey folks, this is John just bought a bike from us. John, why don't you tell these people why you bought your bike? Get them involved in the conversation and then transition over to them. And say, John, you know what? I want to get these folks on a test ride. I want to be able to help them out because, I mean, if your job is done, great. And then pull out the calendar and invite John back for a group ride. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. Does that help with the time vampire?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Granger.
Granger, you'll have to unmute.
Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa. Can you unmute yourself, Lisa?
His first phone didn't want to connect.
But it's still
Okay, what's up?
There you go.
Want to make sure you're following everything that we're talking about.
Yeah, time vampires, how to deal with them. I had to go to the bathroom real quick, so I missed like the last 30 seconds. So,
But you probably understand that even in your other job, right?
exactly. Yeah, you have to, I mean, having conversations with people, that's fine. It kind of helps lighten the mood, warm them up, but you have to be in control of the conversation and not let it run over. And like pretty much my excuse is always a quick, easy way. Like, look, man, it's been great talking to you. Unfortunately, I have to run. If you need anything, let me know. So that way it's like, still I'm available, but I got stuff to do. So
yeah.
In this scenario, it would be, if you want to schedule a time to come back when I have more time, right?
absolutely. Yeah. Come in on a Wednesday, there's not really a whole lot going on, and sit there and talk away.
But the other thing that you want to do, Granger, is you want to be able to build the boundary right beforehand. You can say, listen, you know what? I'll put aside 30 minutes for you specifically on Wednesday, because the time vampire, and you guys have experienced it. I know you have. You've had the guy who's come in and hung out for 3 hours and literally you've gotten nothing done. So if you set up the boundary of, hey, I'm going to give you 30 minutes, that's done. You've got other shit to do.
Yep. Just about every bike shop has one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of this is the talent pool that exists to grow your business. You want to be able to grow from within. I mean, so who better than an existing Pedego customer to come in and potentially be a part-time salesperson? They already have stories of how they own their own bike.
Right.
It's a great opportunity. You don't have to have them as a manager or a full-time person, but part-time. As long as they have the skills and the personality that you're looking for to add to the team. And obviously there's people that they might be Pedego owners and they could drive you bananas. So you got to be careful with that. I'm seeing you guys already. It's like, oh, this person. Oh my God, I can only imagine. Yeah, that wouldn't be cool. Yeah. All right. So I want to jump into giving good phone then. Giving good phone is definitely part of the skill set. And I think it's really important that, first of all, I want to let you know where the term give good phone comes from. I was working at my sister's place. She was in Ottawa, our nation's capital up here in Canada, eh? And she works actually for the federal government, and she hung up the phone, and I was working at her kitchen table, and she came out of her office from her home in her home, and she goes, "Oh my God, that guy gives good phone." And I just burst out laughing because I just thought, yeah, I got to use that. So kudos to my sister. She came up with the giving good phone. And the idea behind this PowerPoint is how to turn prospects into buyers using telephone skills. So let me just jump right into it here. All right. And if my screen's in the way, just if the view of you folks on this screen is in the way, just let me know. So again, it comes back to who's calling you, what's the demographic, right? Where are they specifically from your location? And just as an FYI, guys, Lead Cycles now is doing text messaging, and we've given you what's called a call tracking number. So you'll start to see, or you'll start to hear this call brought to you by Lead Cycles from some of your follow-up. And what's cool is all of those calls where it's this call brought to you by Lead Cycles, when you answer, all those calls are recorded. So you'll actually be able to listen to how you're actually speaking to those people who've been in the store, or to those people who are clicking on social media posts with your call tracking phone number. And we give you that number for free.
Hey, Joe, let me ask you a question. So we use Grasshopper, and we have an opening comment. So it just doesn't ring, and it answers. So you might want to think about how that works on your side, because it goes, hello, fun. Thanks for calling Pedego. Please hold. We find somebody for you. We're about to change that to say, for Pedego Houston Heights, press 1. For Pedego West Houston, press 2. So on your side, it's probably going to start talking.
Yeah, and that's fine. What'll end up happening is you'll just answer the phone. It'll say this call brought to you by Lead Cycles on your end. And that's something I can talk to Chris about and see how that works if it goes to obviously on our end, it's an automated system. So if our automated system talks to your automated system, and when you go live, in the sense of you're actually answering the phone on your end, the recorder my sense would be the recording would already have started, which is fine. And then the consumer calling in will know this, because it says this call is being recorded for quality and training purposes. So they know, as a consumer calling you, that that's happening. The key would be to make sure that you guys know that it's a Lead Cycles phone call. So what's the application that you're going to be using?
It's
Grasshopper. Okay. Let me find out about that. Appreciate you letting me know about that. Thank you. All right. So again, we want to know where people are calling in from, right? So how do they get your phone number? What marketing sources are you spending time and money to get people to call you? Measure your incoming call metrics. Like, we knew that every time the phone rang at Fitness Depot, it cost us $33. We were able to literally write down to, because of the marketing dollar we spent and how many phone calls were coming in, we knew that the leads were $33. So why are they calling you guys? Well, because you're experts, because you have knowledge, because they actually want to time collapse their research. There's a lot of people that don't want to go online and do research. They want it, or they already have, and now they just want to be convinced by a human being, right, to buy from them. And so they're speeding all their process. It's not just about price, but that's where people start, right? So what are they typically going to ask? Well, how much? Is it in stock? When can I get it? And what's the outcome that we want to have when somebody wants to be on, when we're on a call with somebody? Do you want to literally educate people and get sucked into the time vampire vortex? You want to inform them and give them everything they need to, this is what you should do when you go shop for a bike? Are you getting the marketing data, or do you want to build a relationship through know, like, and trust? Get a micro close by booking an appointment, and then, or even better, sell the product over the phone. Like, there's nothing stopping us from closing a deal over the phone, and that takes skill and tact, right? So the tools that you need by your phone, obviously, pen, paper. You need the damn calendar. If you need an incoming call script, put it down there. What are the questions that you would ask? And then have tools at the ready to follow up. That's, if your system isn't in place where you're getting their phone number, you better write it down, ask them for it. So top questions, right? Top questions that you would ask somebody. It's, hey, first time calling our location? How'd you hear about us? You ever tried a Pedego before? If the answer is no, immediately is, well, when's the best time for us to schedule a free ride? Like, that's got to be the critical piece here. That's the micro close. If somebody says, well, I'm not really sure, well, would you like to enter our free draw? Because you guys do have a free draw option to be able to, and Tammy's going, what are you talking about? Right?
I've seen it. I just don't know when we do that.
So on your test ride waiver, you also have, every time somebody enters your test ride waiver, you can also optionally have them enter $100. We suggest $100 gift card draw, but some stores are making it more money than that. Some stores are saying it's a tour. And what you're doing is, if somebody, for example, is even standing in the store, Tammy, and there's like, no, I don't want to ride today. Hey, no problem if you don't want to ride. Would you like to enter our free draw?
Oh.
It's an opportunity for you to get their information so that you can automate your follow-up. That make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, fortune's in your follow-up. So if we don't get their name and phone number and email address, we're doing ourselves a disservice.
That's what that app does. I mean, that's what that
That's
mobile app does.
Yeah.
That's why we have to have them all. And there's a huge follow-up process that y'all have not seen. Probably.
Yeah, and like you say, when a lot of people say that I want to ride, that's another way of getting the information. Then I didn't know that.
Is that free draw on the?
Free draw.
It's on the phone.
That's the free waiver one.
Yep.
Either one.
Already.
Either one will put them into the drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Just be prepared though. Like, you want to get them in, you want to use your contest draw link, because if you put them on the free ride or the test ride waiver link, the sequence on the test ride waiver, yes, they're entered to win. They're entered into the draw, but the sequence for the test ride sends them to Google. How was your experience? On the phone, you want to just, if it's just entering the contest, there's no how was your experience at the store, because they haven't been in the store yet. Does that make sense? Okay.
We're getting the link sent to us right now.
Right on.
I just texted it to everyone.
Outstanding.
Open it and save it to your home screen.
Okay.
Yeah, and make sure that, again, the link that you're going to use is, if it's strictly for the contest entry, it's strictly for that. If it's for a test ride, well, then just keep using the one that you're using. So what's your sales voice? And I it's pretty easy, but I've said this countless times, highest energy wins in sales. And it amazes me, I'll call stores and it's Pedego, whatever. This is Joe. Like, are you kidding me? You've just spent a shit ton of money to get people to call you, right? At Fitness Depot, the way that we answered the phone was, it's a great day at Fitness Depot. This is Joe speaking. I needed to be on it. And if my staff didn't have that kind of energy, we just didn't allow them to answer the phone. Like, there was a guy by the name of Derek. We never allowed him to answer the phone. He was a good guy. His energy on the phone was terrible. Right? Fitness Depot.
Get it. You must smile when you answer the phone.
Yes.
I can hear your face.
Absolutely. You can hear it. You can hear a smile. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So what's your sales voice? Because your sales voice will give you away every time. The way that we communicate, Moravian's law of communication is 7% words, 38% tone, 55% body language. That means on the phone, we are using 45% of our communication device, right? It's our tone of voice and the words. That's critical that we be able to portray that energy, because you're right, Tammy. I mean, people can hear a smile. So use that. Stand up if you have to, right?
The other thing is we always say, hello, fun.
Nice.
We either say, hello, fun, Pedego, West Houston, or they say, hello, fun, Pedego, West Houston, how can I help you? Or their name, whatever, but it's always hello, fun.
Love it. And having a script ready and being prepared. I mean, it's not just for Boy Scouts, right? I mean, when you are prepared, again, with is this your first time calling the store? How did you hear about us? Have you ever written a Pedego before? When you're ready with that script and you have your calendar at the handy, you're ready to rock and roll. And are you guys taking payments over the phone?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Excellent. And you also offer financing. What are your financing options?
We do it through that ISU Westlake. So it would be 6 months, no interest, or up to 60 months.
12.
Yeah, whatever they call it.
Okay.
And then you send me the Facebook, PayPal, and I'm gonna look into that.
Okay, right on. How many people have called you guys and asked to buy bikes over the phone that have never been in your store?
I had a lady call the other day that she said she's probably going to call in the next couple days and just buy over the phone.
Had she been in?
Nope.
Over COVID, those people that bought like 2 bikes over the phone. And I think another guy that came to pick them up, like 2 bikes. So
yeah, a few,
from
not a
Austin or
ton.
something, yeah.
But COVID, what
It
Tammy
went
was
like
saying,
this, yeah.
COVID was because we were advertising we'll deliver.
Mm.
So there were some folks that just didn't come in, but it is rare.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and a quick topic of discussion on a phone call before I jump back into the PowerPoint is, if people are calling from a different state, are you going to sell to them, or are you just going to refer them back to the local dealer?
Typically, I refer them to the local dealer.
Okay.
Unless they are, for some reason, related to a customer and have been referred to us specifically.
Okay. I'm just getting, again, to me, that's information, right? I mean, and so is this a policy that you have in place with the team, that if they're calling, let's say, for example, somebody's calling you from California, and they might have gone on the dealer locator and now they're looking at buying a bike. They might have gone to another store, they've tried a Pedego, and now they're shopping around. Again, and I'm just asking because I think it's important for you to have a policy in place. Are you selling them the bike, or are you saying you should buy from your local retailer?
So I have not created a policy. I'd like to hear what they think they should do, but what I would like them to do is determine where the caller's calling from, help them locate the local Pedego dealership closest to them.
Yeah.
And then, if there's underlying circumstances that kind of go out of that, like I said, we might be willing to help them, but I would prefer them to always push a buyer who is not local, especially out of state, to buy from their local Pedego dealer, because that's the people who they need to make the relationship with, who are going to service them. I mean, I would love to take the money. I just don't think it's the right thing to do.
I mean, I think it depends on the situation. If we have somebody that's traveling over here from a different state and they know, hey, we're flying into Houston, we want to pick up these bikes, and then from there we're taking an RV around the country. I mean, it would make sense for us to take that sale, have the bikes ready for them to pick up, and then just go from here. Because then they can still get that service from their local shop, right?
Yeah.
Or any shop that they're at.
Yeah.
I mean, making a sale here and having to ship bikes to California or try and get them out there would be a huge cost on our behalf. I mean, just trying to get them out there.
Right.
Or to the
Box them,
because
box them, and then they got to rebuild them too. So then you got to figure out how they're going to get it assembled once it gets there.
even a drop shipment anywhere is going to cost the customer an extra $200.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if there's other circumstances, like the example Pedro gave, well, that makes sense. But most of them don't make sense for us or for the customer.
Okay. I want to bring it up because I know some stores, they get bamboozled behind this, because you'll have customers that are going to call from, or prospects that are calling from different areas, and you need to be prepared. Having this script is going to help you be able to decipher, where are you calling from, right? It's okay to ask that question. So, hey, is this your first time calling our store? Well, where are you calling from, right? And how did you hear about us? You ever ridden a Pedego before? If they say, yeah, I've ridden a Pedego before, the next obvious question is where? And they say, well, because I've heard of these situations. There have been times, not often, where a consumer is calling a different store and they're saying, I'm just not going to buy off this guy for whatever the reason, right? And I don't know what the reason is. In fact, I just had a situation with James in Tucson, had a prospect lose it on him because he got a couple of text messages from Lead Cycles, and he literally texted James back saying, F off, this is harassment. One text a day. Yeah. James looked at that, and James and I had a conversation, and James was laughing. He's like, Joe, for the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I've got on my list now, thanks to Lead Cycles, I would rather have the occasional pissed off person because I'm following up versus somebody versus not following up at all and not getting those additional sales. You're just not going to, you got to remember, you got to make a line in the sand. You're not going to please everybody. That's just life. And so I appreciated the fact that James took that 30,000 foot view, because, overall, you're going to rustle a few feathers. It's no different than being in politics. You want to be a public servant. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to please everybody. Well, you want to be in retail, you want to be in business, you're not going to please everybody if you're going to be successful. So that's just a small price to pay. If we were more worried about what people thought about us, we'd never get shit done, right? That's just the reality of it. So let me jump back into this. So coming to the issue of the selling outside of your territory, there's a couple of there's gray areas that I want to share with you. Obviously, if you have somebody who's a renter or somebody who's come on a tour with you, right? They may be from out of state, out of wherever. They might be from somebody who's in the state, but they might be from Austin, who now, Cedar Park, who's going to be opening up, right? But if they're from the Austin area and they've come to you and they've taken a tour with you, do you send them to Austin or do you close the sale there? Let me ask you that question.
Probably close it, yeah, because of the relationship you've built with him already.
Yeah, and Tammy, here's the truth. My opinion is you have every right. In fact, I feel that we're obligated to close the sale with those people. That's my opinion. Now, if you, as an entity, feel differently about that, be very clear with your team that, hey, anybody who's on tour, if we find out that they're from another area, we're going to, because there are stores that will do that. They will say, you should go buy from your local retailer. Here's the challenge. There's no guarantee that they're actually going to go buy a Pedego.
Yeah.
You might go to another store and end up buying a Specialized.
Or we sell them.
Yeah, no matter where you're from.
100%. If they're in the store, we sell them. I don't care where they came from.
Yeah.
Right. So there are some, so again, I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I'm not suggesting that your tact is not correct, Amanda. I'm just simply saying that there are stores that when they have a phone call that come in, for them, you on the phone, you might as well just be there live and in person. And
Yeah. I feel differently about that. I want to be really clear.
Yeah.
We need to be part of our policy that if they're calling and we find out that their location is out of state or very near another Pedego location that happens to be in Texas, I would prefer to refer. If they are nearby us or even far away from another, say they're in Tyler or Longview. Look, now they're far enough from any other Pedego, it does not matter.
Right.
I
But
had a bad experience at New Braunfels.
or, I don't know if I told you this about the people who drove from New Braunfels. There is a store in New Braunfels. Now, she offended them. So they drove to my store and they were going to buy one bike and then they bought two.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's why it's important to ask those right questions at the beginning. If some, again, have you ever, first time calling a location, how did you hear about us? You ever ride a Pedego before? Where, on the phone, where are you calling from? Well, if they say, yeah, I'm from New Braunfels, well, are you aware that there's like cut to the chase and say, are you aware that there's a Pedego dealer in your town? I mean, because you don't want to spend too much time on the phone with somebody who, because if you're not making any money at it, I mean, like let's just call it for what it is. Do the things that are going to help propel your business, not somebody else's. That's why we're on these calls. I want to help you grow your, not somebody else's store's business. Let's build this empire. Right?
Right.
Now, if it happens where they say, listen, I've had a bad experience and I'm not going to buy from those mofos or whatever they want to say because they were insulted, then the rules change, right? I get it.
yeah.
Okay. But the
And then-
policies.
What ended up happening with that is, we delighted them so much that they went on every social media outlet for us.
That's great.
That's how we turned that around and it ended up being
Very
perfect.
good, yeah.
And there are people that are obviously they're brand insistent, so they're going to want Pedego.
Yeah, that was not a perfect sale. We made mistakes, including, but it worked out for us the best.
Good. Good. Did I share with you guys the rental script? No?
No.
Okay, when we're done with Give Good Phone, let's talk about the rental script because I think it's very important as well. So we'll let me continue with this, the phone piece, and then we'll jump into the rental. So again, if you're taking payment over the phone, offer financing and do that and keep crushing that. So what do you provide that others do not? That's not just in terms of what you do in terms of in your store, but also over the phone. Like, what's your differentiating value? And can you explain it to your prospect without being pushy or salesy? Yeah. We've already talked about it with SOS, right? How important, like, because if somebody's going to say, how much is this? Hey, I appreciate that you're doing your research. How important is local service to you? You can give them their answer, but when somebody says, well, how much your bike start at? I can buy, do you guys have anything that compares to Rad Power? You've got to be able to explain your differentiating value in a way that compels them to want to buy from you. What can you say that makes your offer or offers irresistible? And ultimately, you got to get them in the door. It's all about that micro close. If somebody's calling, either if I can't close them on the phone, then I got to get them in the door and get them on a ride. And are you asking? Like, the biggest barrier for making sales is not asking at all. Are you asking, hey, when's the best time for you to come in? Not, notice that when is the best time that you can come in to set up an appointment for a test ride, as opposed to, can you come in tomorrow? The answer could be no. Leave no off the table when you're trying to close someone, especially for a test ride. So, and then again, the other thing too is, are you asking for referrals? Who do you know who? 5 words. And that can also be, because sometimes when you're getting an incoming call, it's from an existing customer. Yeah. So recap, high energy, highest energy always wins. Ask questions, have a script, take notes, micro close. You got to get the appointment, get the free ride, get their name on the draw, and then ask for the sale, ask for referrals. Let me jump into the rental script.
Stop you 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like everybody to start doing that. If it's an existing customer calling,
referrals.
Just say, hey, just since I already have you on the phone, who do you know who would also love a Pedego?
Yeah, or who do you know who, right? 5 words. Who do you know who that would love to come in for a free ride, right? It always comes back to the Bob, right? Butts on bikes, butts on bikes, butts on bikes. So I agree with you, Amanda. Like, who do you know who that would love a ride a Pedego like you or with you? And then organize a group ride.
Or who would love to ride with you? Or I can offer a free hour test ride or whatever.
Exactly.
And instead of, I like the vernacular of a free hour rental.
Yes.
Because test ride sounds salesy, especially over the phone. Whereas like, hey, who do you know who that would love to ride with you? And you know what? I'll offer you a free rental. Love to get some of your friends out. Because it comes back to the experience that we're providing.
Currently offering as if
Every
it's going to
one of
run
them-
out one day. but
Every one
take
of them,
it now or
'cause
never.
even if they're, in Houston, they go, oh, well, I can't get over there to, well, great news, we just got those Tulies in. Or
Yes.
do we have any left? No,
Yes, we
I think
do.
there's
The
one.
one left.
One left.
One left. Anyways, there's a conversation that can be started here, and
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is know who your customer is, right? If you guys, and you obviously do, when you've told me that they're affluent, highest population of millionaires in the US, perhaps the word free is not the appropriate word. And it's amazing how word changes can have a profound effect on the way people think. Instead of free, you could use the word complimentary. Oh yeah, that's a good one. When you go to a really nice hotel, is it a free breakfast or is it complimentary?
complimentary.
You know it, right? I mean, if you're going to the Super 8, it's free continental breakfast. If you're going to the Hilton, it's a complimentary breakfast. What kind of service do you want to provide? What are the words that you're going to be using? Powerful. It's absolutely powerful. If the word, if it didn't make a difference, the word complimentary wouldn't exist. It makes a huge difference. So let's talk about the renter. When the renter comes in the door, anybody who's rented or has gone on a tour, okay? And it could also be a group ride. Because I've seen stores do a tremendous job of getting group rides, and they're getting dozens of people out, and they're charging for the group ride. They're giving a rental at a reduced rate for people to go out for a group ride, a 90-minute group ride, and then when they get back, they have coffee and muffins for everybody, and if it's a morning ride and stuff like that, which is great. If there are people that are not from your local area, and you've attracted them, and that has cost you money to attract them, it's called marketing. You've attracted them to your place of business, they have gotten on a Pedego, they've enjoyed the experience, it's your obligation, in my opinion, to sell them a bike. I don't care where they live. This is just my opinion. Some people will, there are stores that completely hate my opinion on this one. That's fine. The way I look at it is you've spent money to get their asses in your store, and then you've spent the other valuable resource, which is time, with them. You've built a relationship, but you've spent time showing them how to use the bike, using the jazz hands to walk the bike, all of that, right? Now, you've gone and spent time with them, and then here's where a lot of the Pedego stores make the mistake. Hey, folks, did you enjoy the day? Awesome. Well, you know what? If you want, we can take the cost of the rental and we can apply it to the purchase of the bike. We can ship you the bike for free. So if you don't want to spend any money on state tax, you can buy it from us. So just let us know. And basically, you're telling them all of this stuff that you can do for them, and people just go, okay, thanks, bye, and they leave. Telling is not selling. Telling is not selling. It's all about asking questions. So, Nick, you take off on a ride, on a group ride or a rental, or you're on a tour and you come back and it's like, so Nick, how did it go? What do you think Nick's going to say?
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Awesome. Then I would, and so I'm going to show you guys the script, and I'm going to send this over to you guys. All right. So here's the rental to sale transition, and this could be an out-of-state customer, it could be in-state. We can just change it a little bit because there are going to be some changes coming along to tax law. So it would be like, hey, so how was your day? Did you enjoy the bike? Yeah. Any issues with the bike at all? No, it's good. Of course not. They're really reliable, right? Implanting the fact that they're super reliable. Hey, can you imagine riding one of these bikes back home? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Okay.
It's yes or no.
Yeah.
If it's no, end transaction, take their money. Thanks a lot. You're going to be in our rental follow-up sequence, and we'll see you again because we're going to invite you to come back. And we're also going to have a rental follow-up sequence that's who do you know who that would love to have a rental experience like you had. However, wouldn't that be awesome? And they say yes. Then you've got to put together the irresistible offer. And again, before I show you the rest of the questions, if somebody's a renter, do you want to put together something special for them or hint at the fact that they could ask you for a deal? That's up to you to decide, but you could put something together because you know that if they're leaving, you're not going to have, like, I mean, the fact of the matter is you're never going to have to service this bike. You're going to sell it, but then it's like somebody local, whether it's another Pedego dealer, we're going to discuss how to deal with that, or they could be in an area where there is no Pedego dealer. And they have to get a third-party service provider to help them with maintenance and tune-ups and the like, okay? So let me go back to sharing my screen here. So can you imagine writing one of these back home? That's a yes or no question, and that opens it up. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, listen, where did you visit today? So imagine it, and again, instead of me saying, well, I could apply the rental cost to the purchase of the bike, I'm saying, imagine if I could apply the rental cost to the purchase of the bike. If I could do that, would that interest you?
Yep, we're not doing that right.
You have to use the word imagine. And I picked this up, actually. It's a great book. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'll do this. This book, Mind Reader, like, I love guys that are like mentalists and magicians and whatnot. And this guy's book, I found this really fascinating in terms of the power of words. This is a guy, Leo Suchard is the type of guy who he goes to an audience and he ends up talking to you, and then everybody ends up blurting out the word that he makes you think of stuff. Like the persuasion skills that I learned from this book in this last year was awesome. And one of the persuasion words that he talks about is imagine. When you say to someone, imagine, with a pause, imagine if I could apply the rental cost to the purchase of the bike. What are you thinking? You're thinking about getting a deal already. You're already there. Now, is the other trick word here? Now. Now, right? Now, imagine if I could also save you the shipping cost of $200. Would you want to take it? And then what state are you from? And again, you know, Jason and Amanda, you guys can answer me this. I'll finish the script, but I'm curious about this. Is what state are you from? If they're out of Texas, then it's, well, imagine if you bought this in your home state of, let's just say it's, hello?
Yeah,
Hey,
I think that's my husky. She's talking.
Oh,
I was over there.
so
That's Trixie.
hey, Trixie, that's really cool.
I'll imagine if I could, okay, so that's.
What is your answer?
What was the
So-
question?
Now,
All right,
okay,
so I want to, Jason and Amanda, I'm going to ask you the question after I finish this piece of the script here. And again, it's, so what state are you from? Imagine if you bought this in your home state of, and let's just say it's North Dakota because it's real close to me. So imagine you bought this in your home state of North Dakota. What's your sales tax there? And would you, so you'd have to pay an additional X percentage, which translates into X dollars, right? Nobody wants to pay sales tax. So if I made you this irresistible offer where you could get this now, we'd ship it to you, save you the shipping, and imagine that you didn't even have to, we'd use the rental cost, apply to your purchase of your bike, and no state tax. Would you want to take advantage of this now? So the question I have, right, there's your script. The question I have for Jason and Amanda is, what are the laws to shipping out of state? Because I'm told, I know with Amazon, that's been a challenge. And there's been some stuff happening there, but what's happening for Pedego? Do you guys know?
okay, it is, they're changing the sales tax collection because they used to not collect sales tax on shipments out of California, but now I think due to something that's changed, they're gonna have to collect local sales tax. So if it shipped to New Hampshire, there would be no sales tax. If it shipped to New Jersey, it would be whatever New Jersey's sales tax is.
Okay. Okay. So in other words, so then you have the, go ahead.
That's Delaware and New Hampshire are the only states that have 0.
Okay, right. But again, the idea of shipping like it has been in the last few years, if you were to ship out of state and deliver it in a box to somebody's home out of state, they weren't paying state tax. Now the new rules are in place where, hey, listen, everybody's got to pay the goose, which is fair. I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page with that. Is that correct?
Not the
That's
buyer
correct.
that
So
pay
that-
our tax, and if we ship it, they have to pay their tax as well.
No. So if they bought it here,
Yeah.
right? Then I would bring them through at 8.25%.
Mhm.
Okay, because they bought it here. And then I would have, I'm just talking this out loud. Then I would have to place an order with Pedego to ship directly to them. But I've already collected sales tax, so I'm just paying Pedego the cost of the bike plus the shipping, is what I think.
Yes.
Okay. Nonetheless, though, the deal that you have on the table is if somebody's renting, and this is something, again, this comes back to policy. What are the specifics in terms of, after you've asked the question, can you imagine riding one of these back home? Wouldn't that be awesome? If they say yes, now what is the line of questioning, or what does your script look like? And in this case, I'll send this to you and you guys can edit it the way that you want, right? Building rapport, going back to the word imagine, because again, we use, right? Can you imagine riding one of these back home, right? Imagine if I could apply the rental cost of the purchase of the bike. If I could do that, would that interest you? Now imagine if I could also save you, right? Again, now imagine. So, and then if the state issue is not that doesn't apply, well then you take, this section here and you remove it, right? Questions 10 and items 10 and 11 from this list, you just remove them. But nonetheless, you can come back to the fact that these people are from out of state, or they're not going to be taking up valuable time after they leave. Or more importantly, they're leaving. Do you want to make some money on the person who's rented, or just take the rental fee?
Mm-hmm. So,
and I can't answer that. Only you can.
and this is important given holidays are coming up, and we live in the South. So at holiday time, people who have family that are from colder areas typically come here.
Yeah.
So so we need to be able to follow that script with those questions, and then the imagine if, and then I am 100% willing to give them the $200 shipping fee. And that's how we would try to close
Then
that.
it comes from us or from Pedego?
From Pedego Direct.
Okay, so they buy from us, we order it from Pedego and it goes
And
there.
ship it straight to them.
Oh, so it doesn't go from our store. Okay.
No.
No, but we still make the sale.
The reason we can't do it from our store
Yeah.
to the customer is because number one, we have to unassemble it, or it already have to be in a box that's shipped to us, so we already either paid for shipping, and then it's way more expensive for us to ship it because we're not shipping in giant bulk like Pedego
So,
ships.
hey, let me just, I want to jump in real quick. This happens like maybe once in the last year, so we could probably just not even talk about it.
My challenge on you, Jason, is let me ask you this. How many people are coming into your place of business to rent from you that are from out of state?
Not very many.
Oh, it does happen. It does happen
And
because
somebody's phone.
Not very many.
About shipping and stuff. I didn't know that.
Most of the people that come from us are locally.
Okay. My goal is obviously, depending on how much money you want to be able to create in terms of rental and tourism, there's an opportunity for you for even if they're local. If they're the next question is, how many people that rent become buyers?
mm-hmm.
We have
But this is a big deal because when we get into Heights,
the Heights is going to be different.
there will be a lot more tourism. We're in suburbia.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, it's
So-
gonna be a lot different over there.
I mean,
As
then
far as
again,
out
we
of
have a
towners.
lot of houses around here with people that have people coming in for.
Yes. So it is valid. I don't want to skip over it. I think it's important. And it needs to be, let's make sure we understand how to address those folks.
No, I think we're just down in the weeds on taxes. That's my only.
Oh, I don't care about, I mean, we can talk about taxes if we have to.
Yeah, the tax issue is irrelevant now, because I think if the law's in place, we got to follow the rule. What's important is, what is the strategy that you want to provide, whether you want to provide an extra incentive to make the offer irresistible on the point, like right now, because ultimately that's what you want. You want somebody who's a renter to transition into a buyer.
We're going to save them the shipping costs, and that's what it is.
And apply the rental fee too.
Yes.
Okay, right? Now there's other options in terms of the shipping costs. Again, I'm just spitballing with you guys. The value of the shipping cost is $200. You could provide them an accessory that is, like a Sena helmet or something else that you'll give for free, or it's complimentary, and you can charge them the shipping.
Okay, and in that case, it would need to be, something $200 value-ish of something Pedego, because we don't need two different shipping.
Right.
And
So I'm just throwing that out there as options, whether it's, foldy lock or other accessories that would go with a specific bike. The other thing that I want to throw out there for you guys to contemplate on, and you can make a decision, is if somebody's coming from a different place of, out of state, and there's a local Pedego store, you can call that local store and let them know, hey, listen, guys, I sold a bike to somebody who's from your area. They were here. I took advantage of the opportunity. I sold them the bike. I'm going to get the bike shipped directly to your store, and you're going to get paid X to build it, and you could, take advantage of the accessory sales. That's something that and then of course build a relationship with that customer and get all of the referrals thereon. That's something that you can choose to do. I know other stores are doing that, and they're providing a percentage of the actual profits to the local retailer. I did that in my fitness business. I had a guy come in, he went right next door. There was a place called Grandma Lee's. It was a sandwich shop. He came into my store and said, yeah, I wanted to buy a home gym and a treadmill, but I'm from Toronto. Well, that's a 2.5-hour flight from Winnipeg. I sold him the stuff anyways from my store. And I called a local guy at Continental Fitness in Pickering, Ontario, and I said, hey, Kamal, guy's name is Kamal. I said, Kamal, I got a guy who lives in your area. I sold him a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to give you 20% of the profit. But I didn't have to touch a box. But I'm the one who made the sale. I mean, the guy took up my time. So I'm just letting you know that there's alternatives that you could run with. It's up to you in terms of what numbers that you want to play with. Does that make sense, though, guys?
yes.
Yeah, I think there's more money to be made in the rental to transition. I know that guys like Sean in San Diego, his rental numbers, he's doing 5 figures a month. He's doing over $10,000 a month in rental business. But his sales weren't doing that great, right? We applied this rental script, and he started getting more business out of it. So that's it. Just wanted to share that. Awesome. Any other questions on rental?
Can you read through that script one more time, please?
Yeah, I'm going to send it over to you. You bet. Let me do this share screen with you guys.
Imagine.
Here it is. So again, it's the rental to sale transition script. And again, this is for out-of-state customers, but you can remove the out-of-state piece. So it's, again, they come back into the store. Hey, how was your day? Oh, it was awesome. All right. So did you enjoy the bike? Oh, absolutely. Any issues with the bike at all? No, it was great. Of course not. Like, they're really reliable. So, I mean, hey, question. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What was that, Amanda?
We already say the first 3, so that's good.
Okay. Can you imagine riding one of these back home? Wouldn't that be awesome? Yes or no? If it's no, end the transaction. No problem. Take their money. Appreciate you. You're already in the rental follow-up. They're going to get a first point of contact is the TripAdvisor review. Excellent. And we move on. If they say yes, you put together your irresistible offer. So and then you start talking. Well, where did you visit today? Listen to them a little bit on that. Okay, so imagine if we could apply, and instead of using the word I would switch this to we, by the way. Imagine if we could apply the rental cost to the purchase of your bike. I mean, if that could be done, if we could apply the rental fee to the purchase price of the bike, would that interest you? We're starting to close. We're asking another question. Now imagine if we could also save you the shipping costs. Now, if they're local, you're going to skip shipping.
Yeah, we don't have to do it at all until we get the response for them as some kind of buying sign or not. I don't want to go directly to a like, let's save you something.
Right.
But if they're already on the yes train, then we go to all the other stuff you taught us, which is, well, let's take a look at, what we can do, make sure we have everything you need.
Yeah.
And then if we have to go back to this, imagine if we could save you.
Keeping in mind that you're going to have that sometimes the customer's going to, all of a sudden they're now, you're imagine if you could, can you imagine riding one of these back home? Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. How much is one of these? And well, the one you're riding is $39.95 or $29.95. Wow, that's a lot of money. Hey, thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing it to? Well, I'm not comparing it to anything. But I mean, so you all of a sudden you start talking, bantering back and forth. Well, what kind of deal can you give me? Like, are you giving me a better price? I can appreciate that you're looking for a good deal. What exactly did you have in mind? Like you'll be able to go from renter to buyer, and ultimately you're opening the negotiation. And you already said we're firm on the price of the bike. However, you can start working that magic number of 300 in terms of accessories and close more sales. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, kids. You know what? It's 10 o'clock. So I think we'll stop here. We've got a call coming up in a couple of days. Just letting you know, we're going to talk about social media hacks, networking, and then the post-sale follow-up. And then I want to do some role play from beginning to end. So the next couple of days, it might be valuable for you to just ruminate in terms of what we've discussed over these last 4 calls, so that we can prepare, because I want to see role play right from when somebody walks in the door to closing the sale.
Okay, and Thursday is extremely important because this is the wrap, sort of, or maybe, or at least close to the wrap. And I want, if we can, I'd like everybody here on time. I know things happen. It happened to me today. Get here on time, please, Thursday, and let's all be in person.
Let me ask you this. Do you guys want to push Thursday the start time at 8:15 instead of 8? I can push that to 8:15, no problem. That way there's no stress. And then we'll go over the time that it takes. And by the way, guys, if collectively as a group, we're not comfortable with how things finish on Thursday, then we'll wrap up on the following Tuesday. Listen, you guys know this about me. I'm a team player. I want you to be successful, and I want to be able to do this again. And I want you to continue to send referrals my way. So it's got, and we need to get a great video testimonial at the end of this thing to send over to Dawn and the team at Pedego, so you guys get your subsidy of a free bike. So I want to get this done right.
So 8:15, and a lot of it is, some of these, most of us, half of us have kids. That's our problem.
Yeah.
And then the rest of you guys just get here on time, please. Let's do this. And then hopefully we'll have, everything we need to start selling a ton of bikes. If we run out of time on Thursday and we have to reschedule, Joe, we cannot do it next week because we are in St. John. But we'll find a time. They can do it, or they can do it.
Or if we have to, I'm actually open on Friday the 9th.
Okay, we can do that too.
We'll figure that out when the time comes. But yeah, I mean, this month I've got yeah.
Yes.
8 o'clock.
Thank you.
8 o'clock.
And
Joe,
Granger?
8:15.
Are we doing 8 or 8:15? What are we doing?
We're doing with you 8:15. We're showing up at 8.
Okay, I'll be on the Zoom call at 8:15. Great job today, kids. Really appreciate you guys. See you then.
Granger, you good, Ranger?
Yeah, I'm good.
Thanks. Bye.
All right.